Humboldt Park. Demographics of Humboldt Park. Gender, 70.5% is female, 29.5% is male. Age, 18 to 35 years old, takes 30.2% of the population there. 35 to 54 years old is 31.6%. 55 to 65 years old is 24.4%. Language, English is 62.7%. Spanish is 37.3%. Disability, Humboldt Park has a really high number of disabilities, which is 13%. Geography, location and boundaries. Humboldt Park is located on Chicago's west side. It is generally bordered by North Avenue to the north, California Avenue to the east, and Western Avenue to the west. Topography and land use. The Humboldt Park neighborhood combines residential, commercial, and green spaces. Humboldt Park is a large public area with lagoons, trails, and recreational facilities, provided community gathering spaces, and support health through exercise and outdoor activities. Population density. Humboldt Park has a high population density with a diverse housing type, including single-family homes, apartments, and public housing. These density impacts health through factors like overcrowding and access to services. Environmental health. Humboldt Park has faced air quality challenges from nearby industry and traffic, along with soil, lead, contamination issues. These impact public health, particularly in older buildings where lead paint may still be present. Healthcare access. Healthcare in Humboldt Park is supported by institutions like Humboldt Park Health, which provide various medical services. Community surveys highlight a need for affordable dental care and improve access to quality health resources. Economic and employment factors. Recent economic initiatives like Invest Southwest aim to boost local businesses, create jobs, and improve infrastructure in Humboldt Park, addressing socio-economic factors that influence health and outcomes. Educational opportunities. Wilbur Wright College, Humboldt Park campus, Northwestern Illinois University, University of Illinois at Chicago, DePaul University, which are nearby or close to or within Humboldt Park.
Sociocultural environment. Humboldt Park is known for its Puerto Rican roots and its cultural events, like the Puerto Rican Day Parade and the Puerto Rican Festival, which is celebrated with traditional Puerto Rican music and food. There are 23.1% of residents that are white, 49.7% of residents are Hispanic, and 23.3% of residents are Black, and 1.6% of residents are Asian. There is a high number of Hispanic residents due to the migration patterns and affordable housing and job opportunities. On the left side, you can see the chart which shows how there's a lot of Hispanics that live around Humboldt Park, and there is like a really low percent of Asians that live in Humboldt Park, and 1.4% are mixed that live in Humboldt Park. There are a lot of different religions practiced in Humboldt Park. The most practiced religion is Catholic. There are a lot of Catholic churches around the neighborhood. They have events like Nuestra Señora de la Provincia. There are also other religions like Buddhist, Santeria, and Hindu. The economic overview in Humboldt Park is an affordable neighborhood compared to other Chicago's neighborhood. The job opportunities at Humboldt Park. The job opportunities at Humboldt Park is 61% of men and 47% of women have jobs that are related to construction, transportation, or service jobs. 26% of men and 38% of women have white-collar jobs. There is a bigger percent of women in a white-collar job. That's due because men tend to have more blue-collar jobs like construction around the area in Humboldt Park. Housing. Humboldt Park housing is below the average price in Chicago's market. The average price for a house is $116,000, Low housing can be due to high amount of crime rates and that are in the neighborhood and the poor maintenance of the neighborhood. Income. The median income is $31,000. Poverty is really high in Humboldt Park. 37% of residents live below poverty, when the average in Chicago's residents would be 23%.
For transportation systems, Humboldt Park has access to the Blue Line trains and has a variety of CTA buses that service the area. 14,075 people have access to at least one vehicle, while 4,688 rely on public transportation. The total amount of commuters of Humboldt Park is 22,169. 15,701 people use some type of motor vehicle as a form of transportation. 1,562 people walk, bike, or use another form of transportation to get to work. For built environments, 16,383 housing units were built before 1970, which is the majority of housing units in Humboldt Park. Between 1970 and 2009, 3,494 housing units were built, and since 2010, only 578 housing units have been built. 39.7% of these housing units are owned, while 60.3% are rented and 8.9% are completely vacant. The Humboldt Park Boathouse was built in 1907 and serves as a great place to watch people fish, float in swan boats, and look at turtles around the lagoon. The Humboldt Park Fieldhouse was built in 1928 and has a variety of recreational facilities like a soccer field, baseball fields, and tennis courts. The Fieldhouse also has a beautiful lagoon where visitors are able to fish and swim. The National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture was founded in 2001, and it hosts visual art exhibitions, community education, and festivals. Its exhibitions have featured the artwork to local Chicago and Puerto Rican artists.
Public health challenges. The public health challenges that Humboldt Park goes against is chronic diseases, high rates of diabetes, hypertension, and obesity, particularly among Hispanics and African American residences. Food insecurity, limited access to fresh and affordable produce, presence of food deserts in such areas. Violence and safety, elevated levels of gun violence and gang activity, which impact physical and mental well-being, housing and environmental health, poor housing and conditions leading to exposure to mold, lead, and other environmental hazards.
Next slide is the nutritional options. Since Humboldt Park has been named one of at least 8 food deserts within the city of Chicago, there's not many options like regarding nutritional foods and when it comes to fresh produce and other healthy options, but locally owned grocery stores are accessible in this neighborhood. And to add on to that, the Greater Humboldt Park Urban Agriculture Organization in the neighborhood strives to provide guidance and education to people about proper nutrition and what action and initiatives they can take to make their, lives healthier and to prioritize healthy eating.
Healthy Horizons Humboldt Park is our community flyer, is a title to our community flyer, and our message that we want to give to people is empowering Humboldt Parks to live healthier lives. The target audience for this is residents, especially families, youth, and seniors. What are we going to be basically doing is we have free health screenings, nutrition workshops, and fitness activities. When and where? It's going to be on Saturdays between 10 to 2 p.m. at the Humboldt Park Fieldhouse, which is in between mostly all the residences. Health overview. So in Humboldt Park, the overview of health is there's high rates of diabetes, hypertension, and asthma. Chronic health issues like obesity, obesity prevalence, particularly among children and adolescents. Food accesses and diet. Food deserts in part of a neighborhood limit access to fresh produce. reliance on processed and fast foods due to affordability and availability, infectious diseases, high rates of sexually transmitted infections such as STDs compared to cities' average, sporadic outbreaks of preventable diseases like influenza, mental health, elevated stress and anxiety levels, often tied to economic stability and crime, limited access to affordable mental health services, substance abuse, issues with alcohol and opioid uses are concerning in the community.